Hello there, my little lobsters. Today I'll be ranting about my OCs. You can use this as background sound while you draw, or you can do whatever. I'm not your mom. Before we start, hi, I'm not Blue Lobster, a small content creator here on YouTube. I post art videos and other random things. Also, please consider subscribing. It may be a small click for you, but it supports me a ton. Of course, before we know the characters, we should learn where they are. Editor, map. I don't know why I'm saying editor. I'm probably going to edit this. This story takes place on an Earth-like world, still the same seasons and temperatures. The main difference is the land and how the world is operated. In this world, there's magic, and although there's no specific types or elements, we still have non-magical people, of course. There's 5 main kingdoms, but we only ever explore one, the Shiranobi Kingdom. The Shiranobi Kingdom is ruled by Queen Yin and King Jin. The princess of the Shiranobi Kingdom is Yiza. She has a twin, but her whereabouts are unknown. A vast desert surrounds the kingdom on the western border, and there's a large sea on the northwest edge. Now that we've gotten our setting, we can move on to the characters. First up is my main character, Aurelia. Oh, the editor abuse on this video is going to be insane. Okay, I call her my main character because that's who she'd be if these characters ever become part of a bigger project. She's like the pillow friend, there for hugs and comfort, but hardly receives any back. She's a social butterfly and who's maybe a bit too trusting. She ran away from home when she was little because she was used as a laughingstock and was shamed for doing anything. But she wasn't allowed to have friends or even leave her home. When her parents weren't ignoring her, she was being yelled at. Her sister bullied her mercilessly, so you'd see why she left. She bleached her hair and traveled by foot to a village near the sea. This is where she'd meet Max. Max is a scared little guy. He's scared of everything and everyone. Max is from a small coastal village next to the sea. He and Aurelia are best friends, and Max follows her like a duckling. He views her almost as an older sister, aspiring to be as brave as her. Before she came to the village, Max hardly had anyone to look up to or even trust. His parents entirely neglected him. I'd like to imagine his parents are like the ones from the ones from the Willoughbys, too engulfed in their own love to acknowledge their child. For example, until Aurelia came, Max considered the old fisherman that gave him fish only around once a month to be the closest thing to a parent. Of course, Max and Aurelia's relationship is still a friendship since they are only 1 year apart. It's not like a parent thing. Max spent most of his time by the ocean practicing his water magic. He didn't have a proper teacher to help him, so his methods are still unconventional. Once he met Aurelia, they were inseparable, and they eventually decided to travel outside the kingdom together. While traversing the desert outside the Shiranobi Kingdom, Aurelia and Max came across a rather tall man simply walking the other way. They hadn't seen anyone else in the desert, let alone anyone this shady looking. Of course, what's the most logical thing to do when you see a dangerous looking stranger in the middle of a desert where no one else is? If you said, ignore them and pray they don't hurt you, you'd be wrong. To Aurelia, the most logical thing to do is offer them food. Now, what are the odds that this stranger actually accepts the request and basically ends up traveling with them as well? The stranger in question being Axel. Axel has fire magic. The nickname that me and my friend use for him is Axel the Asshole, because he is a bit unpleasant, to say the least. When first meeting Aurelia and Max, it was clear that Max was extremely uncomfortable around Axel, because, Axel's a really tall, strong-looking man, and Max is Max is a scared, dare I say, twink. Of course, after a while, Max realizes that Axel won't hurt him and would actually protect him. Axel is 21 and therefore 2 years older than Aurelia and 3 years older than Max. He grew up as an orphan on the streets of, you guessed it, the Shiranobi Kingdom. Fighting to survive the harsh conditions, he learned how to be stealthy and how to fight. By the time he was, say, 14, he could probably win a street fight with an average adult. When he was 16, he decided to join the kingdom army to become a better fighter. He didn't expect much, but certainly not to be given a sword by the head samurai. After that, he quickly moved up the ranks. By the time he was 20, he was quite the well-known figure. Of course, nothing lasts forever. Rumors started to spread that Axel had committed treason against the Shiranobi Kingdom. He tried his best to deny and defend himself, but in the end, he was actually banished for treason he didn't commit. So here we are now with Aurelia, Max, and Axel. Surely we've covered it all. Surely there's not more characters to talk about. No, forgot about that. All jokes aside, there will be a part 2. There will be a part 2 coming out as soon as it can. The script took too long to write. Thank you so much for watching, and remember not to kick puppies. Bye. Of course, before we know, no, my phone died. No. Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable about. Oh, script. No.